At the beginning of the story, we see a scientist named Will who is searching for a cure for a disease called Alzheimer's, because his father is also a victim of Alzheimer's. Apart from his father, Will has no one else in this world. That is why he wants to create a medicine for Alzheimer's at any cost. Alzheimer's is a disease in which a patient's memory gradually becomes weak, and in the end, the person even forgets their own name. Now Will truly has no one in this world except his father, so he cannot bear to see his father drifting away from him. After working day and night, Will finally creates a medicine. But testing this medicine on a human for the first time is very risky. So the medicine is first tested on a female chimpanzee. And the result that comes out shocks everyone. Because of this medicine, the female chimpanzee becomes extremely intelligent. When Will sees her intelligence, he becomes very happy. And now he wants to use this medicine on humans. Will first tells his senior about this, and after that, a meeting of the board of members is arranged where he is giving his presentation. Everyone is very happy with Will's new medicine because its results are extremely positive. During Will's presentation, on the other side, the same female chimpanzee is shown on whom the medicine was tested. A worker comes there who wants to shift her to another place, but today the chimpanzee's behavior is different. She does not want to be shifted from that place. When the worker tries to force her, she becomes very angry. She grabs the worker's hand and then breaks out, creating destruction everywhere. She goes out of control and reaches the place where the board meeting is happening. Here, even Will cannot control her because she is extremely furious. So they are forced to shoot the chimpanzee, and she dies on the spot. After this incident, the board members believe that Will's medicine made the chimpanzee aggressive, and with the chimpanzee's death, Will's entire experiment is declared completely finished. The board orders that all the chimpanzees kept in the lab should be killed because the medicine had also been used on them. However, Will tries to convince his boss that there is no problem with his medicine, but his boss clearly refuses. He says that if there were no problem with the medicine, then the chimpanzee would not have become so aggressive. Will's 5 years of experiment are now wasted. He goes inside the lab. At that moment, the lab caretaker comes to him and tells him that there is no problem with his medicine. Actually, the chimpanzee did not become aggressive because of the medicine. She had just given birth to a baby. At that very moment, that is why she became angry, because she was being shifted from there. Now Will understands everything. The worker tells him that on the boss's orders, he killed all the chimpanzees, but he could not kill the baby that had just been born. After that, without telling anyone, Will secretly takes the baby to his home, where Will's father also lives. Here we are shown that the baby chimpanzee is small, but his mind is as sharp as a human's. Very quickly, he becomes close to Will's father, and Will's father gives him the name Caesar. Slowly, 3 years pass, and now the baby chimpanzee named Caesar has become extremely smart. He can read, he plays games, and he does almost everything like humans. There is only one thing he cannot do, and that is speak like humans. But he can understand human conversations very well. On the other side, Will's father is shown, whose mental condition has become very bad because of Alzheimer's. Even his nurse refuses to take care of him. She tells Will that your father now needs a hospital. He cannot be taken care of at home. Seeing his father's condition, Will feels very sad. The next day, when he goes to the lab, he secretly brings the same medicine that he had given to Caesar's mother and the other chimpanzees. This time, he has specially prepared it for his father's Alzheimer's disease. He knows that saving his father now seems impossible, so he takes the risk and injects the Alzheimer's medicine into his father. Will's father becomes the first human on whom this Alzheimer's medicine is used. Will cannot sleep the entire night because he is afraid that something might happen to his father. The next morning, Will sees his father playing the piano. He is completely fine. Seeing this, Will becomes very happy. That means his medicine has completely cured his father. Meanwhile, Caesar is shown looking out the window at some children riding bicycles. Caesar also feels like riding a bicycle like those children, so he goes into the neighbor's house. But the owner of that house is a very rude man. He sees Caesar and picks up a baseball bat to attack him. Before he can hurt him badly, Will and his father save Caesar. Will tries to explain to the neighbor that he was only trying to play. He is not a danger to you, but the neighbor says that he can harm my children. And if this monkey comes here again, I will kill him. Caesar's leg gets injured, so Will takes him to Dr. Caroline. When Caroline treats him, she realizes that he is extremely intelligent because Caesar is communicating with Will through gestures. Soon, Will and Dr. Caroline become friends. Caroline starts liking Caesar very much. She begins visiting Will's house and learns that Caesar always stays inside the house and is never taken outside. That is why Caesar keeps looking out the window. Caroline tells Will that they should take him outside. Will likes the idea. The next day, Will and Caroline take Caesar to a nearby forest called Redwood. That beautiful forest is nothing less than heaven for Caesar. He loves that place. 2 more years pass. Now Will and Caroline are in a relationship. Caesar has grown up, and they often visit the forest. One day, while they are in Redwood, a family arrives with a dog on a leash. The dog starts barking at Caesar. Caesar becomes very sad, not because the dog barked at him, but because he sees the leash around the dog's neck. There is also a leash tied around his own neck by Will. Through gestures, he asks Will, "Am I your pet?" Will replies, "No, you are not a pet. You are my son." But Caesar has grown wiser now. He wants to know who he is and where he came from. So Will takes Caesar outside his lab and tells him that your mother was here. We used a medicine on her, and because of that medicine, you are so intelligent today. Now Caesar knows everything about himself. After that, they return home, where Will's father is shown again. His Alzheimer's disease has returned to its previous condition. He starts eating food from the wrong side of the spoon. Will understands that the medicine has stopped affecting his father's brain. He becomes very worried. When Will is at work, his father feels like driving a car. But because of Alzheimer's, he has forgotten how to drive. When he starts the car, he cannot control it and crashes into the neighbor's car. The neighbor comes out quickly. He is the same neighbor who once attacked Caesar. Now he grabs Will's father by the collar and pulls him out of the car, starting to beat him. Suddenly, Caesar sees this from the window. When he sees the neighbor beating Will's father, he cannot control himself. He comes outside and attacks him. Caesar is so angry that he bites off the neighbor's finger. After this, the neighbor files a court case against Will's chimpanzee. Caesar. The court decides that Caesar can no longer be kept at home. The animal control team arrives and takes Caesar to a place where other chimpanzees are kept. Caesar thinks he has come there to visit, so he is happy seeing the activity hall. But he does not know that he is going to be imprisoned there forever. When Caesar sees Will leaving, he runs toward him, but he is now locked inside. Through the glass, he gestures to Will to take him along. But Will is helpless and says, "You have to stay here now." Caesar feels very hurt, and Will leaves him there. On the other side, Will's father is shown once again completely under Alzheimer's, and Will now decides to create an even stronger medicine to cure his father permanently. He tells his boss that the medicine I made earlier worked on my father, but not for long. Now I want to make a stronger version. His boss gives him permission. Meanwhile, Caesar is very sad. He hopes Will soon come to take him home. He draws a picture of the window from his house on the wall with chalk. He misses his home deeply. After working day and night, Will creates the new medicine. They prepare to test it on a chimpanzee. While injecting it due to pressure, a pipe comes loose. A worker named Franklin is there. Some of the gas enters his nose because he is not wearing a mask. At that time, it does not seem to affect him. They inject the medicine into the chimpanzee, and he becomes extremely intelligent. The medicine is successful again. Will and Caroline go to meet Caesar, who is kept in a very small cage. His hand is injured. Will becomes very angry and warns the guards that if they mistreat him, he will shut this place down. Caesar is very happy seeing Will, thinking he will take him home. But Will says that until the court gives permission, he cannot take him back. After Will leaves, Caesar becomes very sad. He misses home. He is given dirty food, and the staff treats him badly. When Will returns home, he sees that his father's condition is very bad. He wants to give him the medicine, but his father refuses. He says, "My time has come." After that, Will's father dies. Will is completely broken. Now he has no one except Caesar, whom he considers his son. He goes to the facility with a lot of money and offers it to the head there, asking to take Caesar back. The head agrees. After seeing the money, Will goes to Caesar and tells him to come along. But Caesar closes the door because he no longer wants to go with Will. Even though he is sad about being separated from Will, he does not want to live as someone's pet anymore. He wants to see all the other chimpanzees free as well. Some friends of a worker come to see the chimpanzees. One of them approaches Caesar. Caesar grabs him and pulls him close, taking a knife from his pocket. That night, Caesar opens his cell with the knife. He secretly escapes through the roof and goes straight to Will's house. There he finds the new medicine made for Alzheimer's patients. He takes it and returns to the facility where the other chimpanzees are imprisoned. He releases the gas from the medicine and all the chimpanzees inhale it. Soon, all of them become intelligent like Caesar. They gain the ability to think and understand. Caesar's first mission was to make all chimpanzees intelligent like him so they could escape together. And he succeeds. On the other side, Franklin, who inhaled the gas earlier, dies. This means the medicine only works on chimpanzees and kills humans. Now Caesar wants to escape with all the chimpanzees, but the worker who used to torture them arrives. When he tries to shock them with his electric stick, Caesar grabs his hand and says, "Keep your filthy hands off me." And for the first time, Caesar speaks the word no. After that, he punches the worker and frees all the chimpanzees. The worker tries again with his electric stick, but Caesar releases hypersure water on him, causing him to be electrocuted and die. After that, Caesar leads all the chimpanzees to a nearby zoo. They free all the chimpanzees there and add them to their group. Then all of them reach Will's lab, where many more chimpanzees are kept. They free them too. Now a whole army has been formed. Meanwhile, Will, who misses Caesar very much, he calls the place where Caesar was being imprisoned, but no one answers his call. So he quickly rushes there with Caroline. When they arrive, they see that not a single chimpanzee is present there. Just then, they notice an injured worker. Will asks him what happened here. The worker tells him that your Caesar took everyone with him, and he even spoke for the first time. Hearing this, Will becomes extremely worried. And now he understands that Caesar is heading toward Redwood with all his companions, the same place where Will used to take him during his childhood. Caesar is moving forward through the city with his companions. On the way, they reach a bridge where the police block their path. After that, a huge fight breaks out between the chimpanzees and the police. However, Caesar's intention is not to hurt humans. His goal is only to free his chimpanzee brothers and reach the redwood forest. They are attacked from a helicopter, and when Caesar is about to be harmed, a gorilla suddenly jumps onto the helicopter and crashes it, sacrificing his own life. At that moment, a chimpanzee named Koba arrives. Koba is the same chimpanzee on whom experiments were performed in the lab. He kills the man who was firing bullets at them from the helicopter. When a gorilla is about to tear apart a police officer, Caesar stops him because Caesar wants to stop the police, not kill them. After that, they all cross the bridge and reach Redwood Park. Will also arrives there shortly after. He starts calling out to Caesar. During this time, another chimpanzee is about to attack Will, but Caesar stops him. Will tells Caesar to come back home with him. Leave this anger behind, otherwise the police will kill all of you. Caesar hugs Will and whispers in his ear, "This is my home now." Will understands that Caesar has found his own world. He will not return with him. Will says to Caesar, "All right, this is your life. Live it. After that, we'll leave Caesar there." Now this is a new world for Caesar and his companions, and Caesar is their leader. Meanwhile, Will's neighbor is shown, the same one whose finger Caesar had bitten off. Suddenly, blood starts coming out of his nose. Actually, Franklin, Will's colleague who had inhaled the gas during the experiment, had come to Will's house to tell him everything. But since Will was not home, Franklin went to his neighbor. Suddenly, Franklin coughed, and drops of blood splattered onto the neighbor. Now he is also infected with the virus. In fact, this neighbor is a pilot who flies international flights. That means he will spread this virus across the entire world, and the whole world will change. And that is exactly what happens. The second part of this movie was released in 2014, where it is shown that 10 years have passed since the virus spread, and a huge portion of the human population has been wiped out. While the human population keeps decreasing, the chimpanzee population keeps increasing. They have fully spread throughout the forest and have become stronger than ever before. Caesar is shown again. He is still the leader of all the chimpanzees, and in this forest, Caesar rules. Humans are not allowed to enter this forest anymore. Caesar now has a son named Blue Eyes. One day, when Caesar's son is roaming in the forest with his friend, a human suddenly appears in front of them. He is there with his team, inspecting a hydroelectric dam so that electricity can be restored to the entire city. This dam is in the chimpanzee's territory. When the man sees Blue Eyes and his friend, he becomes very frightened and pulls out his gun. Blue Eyes also starts growling. The man fires in fear, and Blue Eyes' friend gets injured. Hearing the gunshot, all the chimpanzees gather there. The rest of the human team also arrives. The chimpanzees want to kill them. They are very angry at that moment. The leader of the human group steps forward. His name is Malcolm. He talks to Caesar and explains that we did not come here to harm anyone. We are only here to repair the dam and restore electricity to the city. Caesar tells him, "Fine, you came this time, but do not come here again. Leave now." So they all leave. Among the chimpanzees is Koba, who had once been experimented on by humans and hates them deeply. He tells the other chimpanzees that humans have returned to our territory. They will harm us again. We must show them our strength. Caesar is influenced by his words, and they decide to go to the human settlement. Caesar rides at the front on a horse, leading all the chimpanzees into the human territory. The once beautiful city that used to shine with lights is now completely deserted. Technology and many other things are gone. Caesar arrives there with his entire army. Malcolm once again comes forward and says, "We have already apologized to you." Caesar replies that from today onward, if anyone enters our territory, we will kill them. We do not want war, but if humans try again, we will not spare anyone. Koba wants war. But Caesar gives a warning and leaves with his army. Malcolm is shown worried because there's no electricity where the humans are living, and their power plant is located inside the chimpanzees' territory. Going there means risking death, but they cannot live without electricity forever. So Malcolm suggests talking to Caesar once more. He takes his family and a small group to the forest entrance. When Malcolm explains their situation, Caesar understands because he has lived among humans. He knows what electricity means to them. Caesar agrees to let them enter on one condition. They must hand over all their weapons. Malcolm agrees, and they begin repairing the power plant. Malcolm's wife and son quickly bond with the young chimpanzees. While working, one chimpanzee finds a hidden gun and brings it to Caesar. When Caesar learns that humans brought a gun secretly, his anger rises again, and he tells Malcolm to leave the forest. But then Caesar finds out that his wife, who had been sick for a long time, was treated by Malcolm's wife and is now fully recovered. Seeing this, Caesar gives the humans one more chance. He says, "You have one more day. Fix the power plant and then leave." However, Malcolm's companion, a former police officer, does not trust the chimpanzees at all. He hates them and has secretly brought more guns. When they pass the guns among themselves, Koba sees everything from above. He becomes furious and tells Caesar that humans cannot be trusted, but Caesar tells him to be patient. This makes Koba angry. He says, "You care more about humans than your own kind, because you are one of them." Caesar becomes angry and brutally beats Koba. Burning with revenge, Koba goes to the place where the humans and their weapons are. He steals the weapons, kills many humans, then returns and sets fire to several chimpanzee homes. When he finds Caesar alone, he secretly shoots him. Caesar falls into the bushes. Koba then tells the others that humans burned our homes and killed our leader, Caesar. He declares war and announces himself as the new leader. The chimpanzees accept him and prepare for war. Meanwhile, electricity has returned to the human settlement, and they are celebrating. Koba attacks with his army, loots the weapons, and uses them against the humans. Many humans are killed. The young chimpanzee who was once shot in the forest is also there. Koba gives him a weapon and orders him to kill humans. But the young chimp refuses because Caesar taught him never to attack without reason. Koba kills him and imprisons those who disobey him. In the forest, Malcolm and his wife find Caesar badly injured. They take him home, treat him, and nurse him back to health. When Caesar regains consciousness, he tells them that Koba shot him. Malcolm understands everything. Since Caesar is not fully recovered, Malcolm goes to get medicine. On the way, Blue Eyes appears with a gun, ready to shoot Malcolm. But Malcolm tells him that your father is alive, and it was Koba who shot him. Malcolm brings Blue Eyes home. Blue Eyes is overjoyed to see his father alive. He tells Caesar how Koba became leader and killed innocent people. Blue Eyes then returns to free the imprisoned chimpanzees. Malcolm helps them and takes them to a tower where the former police officer reveals that he has contacted the army by radio. A huge army is coming to eliminate all the chimpanzees. He has planted bombs in the tower to blow them up, even if it costs his own life. Holding a remote, he prepares to detonate. Malcolm and the humans flee. Caesar arrives and confronts Koba. A fierce fight begins. Seeing Caesar alive, the chimpanzees realize Koba's betrayal. The police officer detonates part of the town, killing many chimpanzees. But Caesar, Koba, and some others survive. When Koba sees the others supporting Caesar again, he starts firing at them. Caesar leaps from a height, attacks Koba, and pushes him off the building. Koba hangs from an iron rod and begs Caesar to save him. Caesar grabs his hand but then lets go, because what Koba has done cannot be forgiven. Koba falls to his death. Finally, Malcolm and Caesar stand face to face. They shake hands, becoming allies, just like Caesar once was with Will. Malcolm warns him that the army is coming and they must leave to avoid war. Caesar replies that the war between humans and chimpanzees can never truly end. And with this, the story comes to an end.